It's you guys being beautiful.
Room for you.
Ooh. Live as fuck. That's you.
We're live now?
Yep.
What up?
We're Facebook Living it.
You guys snuggling or what?
You know, the weather is so awesome.
Jerry's gotta stay in frame.
The weather in the middle of August, which is weird.
It's always snuggle weather with Jerry.
Oh
yeah. Put myself out of the frame.
Every day.
Y'all can talk.
Wait, you're not in the frame?
I'm pretty sure I am. I'm snuggling. Hey.
You got more
I
room?
just snuggle with everybody. Hey.
I'm not sure it matters. Jerry's the star of the channel anyway.
That's true.
AshFire.
Whatever.
Special guest.
Special
Hi.
guest.
Hey guys, Duke here for Pickup Daily with Jerry and AshFire. This is episode 2 of our live broadcast here from beautiful Thousand Oaks, California.
That's right, it's Pud Live, number 1 and number 2. And now at number 2, and hopefully number 3 will be better than number 1 and number 2 combined.
Yeah, we had some freaking technical difficulties, but this one will be fine. At least this one's not dark as shit like it was last week.
All right, that's right. That's right. At least you can see us this time.
Yeah.
And if you remember, last week I said we'll be on at 8, barring any technical difficulties, which they arose.
Jerry
and,
knows. Jerry knows.
We're a little late today.
Jerry knows
It is
everything.
what it
Listen
is.
to Jerry.
It is what it is. So, Duke, what do you got for a question tonight? What are we going to talk about?
I don't think we got questions. I just wanted to kind of open up a little general idea because it's kind of a big topic. I was doing a bunch of videos this week, our Twitter 1-minute dating tips and our Pickup Daily normal videos. I'm doing a lot more question and answer stuff. And the theme that's been going on through Reddit, through Seddit, through Reddit relationships, and all the places that we source these questions from is about cheating. It's about getting cheated on. And so I thought we could just sort of open format it, get a little tipsy, and talk
Just
a little
shoot the
bit
shit, huh?
about this
All
thing.
All right, we're going to shoot the
Sensitive
shit
fucking shit.
on this joyous topic that we all love to be on the bad side of, don't we?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now, okay, cheating. First of all, I want to ask you, immediately when you say cheating, I want to talk to the Dukester.
Huh, what's up?
Being polyamorous,
Being polyamorous.
how does that work? Can you be cheated on? How is that? It must be a different kind of cheat, right?
Wow. Well, I mean, I think that a lot of people attribute cheating to, people can look through the whole gamut of things. They can say, oh, they're having sex with somebody else, that's cheating, or they're looking at somebody else, that's cheating, or they're thinking about somebody else, and that's cheating, and like they give all these things. But what I think cheating is when you make an agreement, and then you break that agreement. So if I decide to tell you that you're the only one I'm doing whatever with, and that I'm making that promise to you, and then I break that promise, that betrayal is what the root of cheating is. The root of cheating isn't sex or amorous physical contact. It's the betrayal. It's the lying. It's the I said I was going to do this thing, and then I didn't. Right?
Lying hurts more than anything.
So when
Big lying too.
So when I'm in a polyamorous relationship and we're allowed to see other people or whatever, then the only way you can really cheat on me is to either break a rule that we have agreed on, like don't bang my friends, or lie to me so that you can go around behind my back, right? That's it. But people still manage to find ways to do that even with that much openness in the relationship.
So cheating basically is Lenny Pies, social cubes, has just checked in, giving us a little nod. He's going to get a drink. I'm sure he'll be back, and he'll sit on the other side of the camera. Just want to let you know what's going on. So you're saying that excuse, we've got a lovely lady who's asking for a cigarette. She's actually really hitting on us, but we'll just say, yeah, she can have a cigarette and leave.
Bye.
But she's also working, so she has to run and answer phones and do things, and the boss doesn't like when she smokes, so she's got to sneak. Anyway, hope he's not watching. Anyway, so cheating in that kind of relationship is lying.
Well, I think that's the core of cheating in general. Is that betrayal of saying that I agree to be your faithful in whatever way we agree on, and then I don't do that.
Well, I agree. I feel like it's a deviation from the faith that you build. Again, like we talked about last week, it's about trust. So if you have an arrangement, whether it's polyamorous or monogamous, you indicate.
Sit here.
Yeah.
No. We're shooting a video live. That's all right. It's only a live video.
Fuck, man.
We only got 7,000 people watching. That's all right. Don't worry, guys. Sorry, hang on, guys.
So, no, we gotta do the thing. No, there's only one person watching. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care.
This is live, so you know shit happens. Sorry about that.
All right, we'll just get you a new
can't sit
chair.
there either. You can't sit there.
We'll get you a new chair.
Bob, you can't sit there either.
Why?
You rock the camera, then the camera's gonna rock.
Got your present.
Oh.
See?
Got your presents. We're really high tech around here.
Yes.
All
We're
right.
going through some major shit tonight. Just deal with us. Like
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
number 2.
We're high tech as fuck.
Yeah.
May I have the lighter, please?
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, it's quite all right. Like,
Okay,
You're not
so
even in the frame.
What?
You're not in the frame.
I'm not in the frame. I'm in the frame
There you
now.
go. You got it.
I don't think anybody cares if I'm in the frame.
Polyamorous.
Yes. Snuggly.
Oh, but actually, it's funny.
All right. So, what are we talking about? We gotta get back on track here.
you're getting really.
He still has the hood. And you
I
can
think
see
it's
the
like
imprint
super
of, like,
duper deep when you're saying that cheating is lying.
See if I can take a picture.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't know if it's deep. I'm just saying that, like hooking up with somebody else and having a momentary lapse of judgment is not necessarily the injurious part of cheating. Cheating is like you trusted me to do this thing and then you didn't do it, and in fact you did the opposite of that, and I don't know if I can trust you again. That's the cheat part.
Well, it's so
Thank you, guys.
subjective,
Thank you,
though,
thank you.
isn't
Happy
it?
birthday,
Because
thank you.
it's when you're in a monogamous relationship, it's subjective to the two people that are a party to that relationship. Because some people think thinking is cheating, right? When you emotionally attach to someone else, or are maybe not even aware that you are emotionally open to meeting someone else because maybe you're not getting what you want from the relationship that you're currently in, and being polyamorous where, let's say, sleeping around is acceptable, but you have your principal rules. Hey, look, it's fine. I totally understand because I'm going to go bang someone else. Not in my circle of friends, though. Please don't disrespect my circle, me, by imposing yourself on my circle of friends. So I think it's very subjective. I don't think it's necessarily deep, but it can be. But I agree with the foundation of what Duke is saying, where it is an agreement, something that a conversation that you have in the beginning of a relationship, whether it's polyamorous or monogamous again, and you say, hey, look, these are the things that are a no-go, these are things that are deal breakers.
Right.
And if you break that trust, then you are now a cheater. It's like a contract.
Yeah. I guess.
Well, what's your take on it, Jerry? Come on.
Well, I think we're going we're making cheating like massively broad here.
It is, though. So many people define it so many different ways.
And so if we're saying that, if we're gonna put it as what we just defined it, then in all my relationships, must have been cheated on 8 million times. Because lies are like part of. I've experienced that all my life.
You don't live in Utah. That's why.
And I never will. Okay. So, but yeah, no, it's true. I've been. Yeah, it's just bad.
So let's go a step further and take the depth out of it by adding a different layer, and just understand that no one is really truly 100% faithful.
Look, if you're talking about thinking about somebody else, definitely not.
Oh, absolutely. So for those people out there that are just too sensitive to believe that their chick or their dude or whoever it may be is thinking about, anyone attractive to walk by and you can be like, that's cool. That's
Right.
something
Boom,
I can
cheating.
get on. Oh yeah, that's cheating, 100%.
Watching
Absolutely.
TV, you see some actor, and you're like,
God
they're
damn.
like, yeah, cheated.
Charlie Hunnam. Everyone wants Charlie Hunnam.
I have no idea this, but okay.
Sons of Anarchy, dude, right?
He was only cool while the show was
Who,
on.
the blonde guy?
Yeah, he's King Arthur now. I mean,
He's
who
dead
does-
now.
in Vikings.
He
or
ran,
whatever?
he ran into a Mack truck.
Don't spoiler alert, man. I haven't seen the goddamn show.
He died.
Well, fair enough.
See what happened right there? Did you see what happened? Duke just cheated on AshFire. That was a total cheat move. See, it's such
I
a
can't be with you
Stop.
anymore.
so broad. So
You're the one who brought up the polyamorous thing.
I wanted to know. I'm totally clueless on that. Something I need to be educated on. So where would I bring it up? And now's a good time. I'm sure all the people watching, all one of them, wants to know what's cheating and polyamory.
Yeah.
Or is that the right?
Basically,
Versus
breaking agreements with each other is the thing. It's like, okay, so there are women, right? And like their husbands are like horrible alcoholics. They get super abusive or whatever. And then the husband will promise to never touch a drop of alcohol again, right?
Yeah.
And then when he relapses, when he goes back, that's like breaking that contract of relationship with just as much vigor and craziness that, cheating could be, A lot in a lot of Latin families, women sort of look the other way when there are other side women, as long as they know they're the number one.
That's
there's
the
that
main
kind of stuff, right?
That's like, that's the goal.
The main thing is kind of like the betrayal part. It's the we made an agreement together, we were working on something together, and then you fucking fucked off because you couldn't control your whatever.
Yeah, right.
So does it make it different though if they decide to approach you and say, "Hey, look, I'm thinking about doing this."
Well, that would be horrible, but that would be a step in the right direction.
Of course,
Yeah,
it
hell yeah,
requires,
communication.
It requires a level of honesty and self-awareness and communication, as you just said, that most people don't have because it's scary. Because people would rather do the wrong and get blamed for the wrong instead of being accused for doing something they haven't even done yet.
Right.
I mean, I'm guilty of that. Guilty of being on the other side of that.
Sure.
Personally, in my experience.
Sure. But with our definition of cheating, we're all cheating at all times. I don't even think we can prevent it.
I agree.
We're just going to happen when we don't even know it.
I think-
because, like I said, you watch TV and you're like, damn, cheated.
If I may, and forgive me, Duke, if this becomes a bit too much, and
You can never be too much.
I hope your viewers can forgive me as well, but a dose of personal experience on my
Make it
end.
happen. Go ahead.
It's
Overshare, it's live.
overshare TMI. It's a sense of, in my personal experience, it's a sense of understanding and preparation where you don't necessarily want to race to the bottom because you don't want to be negative about this. Because I'm in a monogamous relationship.
Yes, you are.
It's not polyamorous. And for me, it's scary because of the things that I have been through and the things that I have suffered myself and been suffered for. It's difficult to not assume that people just won't think about it. And for me, thinking is not necessarily cheating, but it's a level of dishonesty that is hard for me to deal with. So I have to accept within myself that, look, it can happen. What can you do to be, I don't want to say what can you do to be better, because at the end of the day, people are just going to make their choices based on what they feel is right for them. And I guess it may boil down to a level of understanding yourself and knowing that if someone decides to step out of your relationship and you feel like you've done everything you can, you've been 100% all in, skin in the deal, cool guy, girl, whatever, that you're not responsible for the choices your partner makes, polyamorous or not. Because I think that's the part of cheating that hurts the most. We feel responsible. You stepped out because I did something.
Yeah.
Is that too much? Is that
Yeah, well,
do you agree?
yeah, what do you think about that? What do you think about that, dude?
Yeah, I've had some relationships where I definitely felt that. I felt like I screwed up, and then you checked out and chose to replace whatever you were getting from me because I screwed up, and then I took that burden upon myself. But that's, as I've been doing a lot of my own self-work and a lot of, I've been working through Nathaniel Brandon's book on self-esteem, and I've begun to realize that you're right. Like, we're not responsible for our partner's choices. And we can take responsibility for our part so that we can use that thing as a lesson in the future. But at the end of the day, people commit transgressions against each other out of their own free will and volition most of the time. And, when one person gets angry and lashes out, the other person doesn't have to. And when they do, that responsibility maintains, is still on them. even though they're doing it in response, they could justify it and say, "Oh, my partner was doing this thing." It's the same thing. It's like I've seen so many relationships where one partner would suspect the other of cheating, so then they cheat first just to get the power in that situation. But really, the real power is unity. It's not any sort of divisiveness. So taking on a combative stance against somebody who's supposed to be your partner,
Your half, yeah.
you know, is always going to end poorly because that's not what that role was designed for. And so I think that any sort of self-blame for the partner's action can be used as a learning tool, but we shouldn't take all of that responsibility on our shoulders.
A good friend of mine once told me, it's a very, very simple statement, and it goes back to the beginning of what you just said. Don't give yourself a reason to be sorry. If you never give yourself a reason to be sorry, then, you know, based on the actions that your partner is committing, like losing their shit in an argument, right? Whether it's deflecting or defensive or just purely aggressive, you have the choice to keep your cool.
Yeah.
You have the choice to try and have a conversation to get to the root of what the issue is, and people use anger as a defense mechanism because they could be afraid, maybe it's all they know, maybe it's a power thing, right? So give yourself a reason to be sorry, because at the end of the day, when you deflect and you combat and you counterattack, then you're giving, and this might be bold, you're giving them the permission to do whatever it is they want to do. Because people can be shitty, and when they can be shitty, they will be shitty. Not everybody, but some people.
Conflict escalation generally takes both parties to do, right? So when you can stop a pattern that, you know, they might have had installed since childhood.
Yes.
You know, that they begin this provocative speech or tone or something, and then you do it, and then they do it. It builds on each other, whatever. At the end of the day, you can just stop it right there and choose to change the pattern, and then you guys don't have to sit mired in this replaying the old tapes from the past over and over and over again.
Yes.
And when both partners can see that on the same page, that's when you can make a relationship truly flourish.
So then does that deviate from the opportunity to be faithful as well? Because you could be cheating on your partner, not even with someone else, but cheating in the contract that you may have created to say, hey, we're always going to come together, we're always going to try and make each other better, and then someone deviates because maybe anger is just a safe place to be, or war, you know, so to speak.
I actually had a partner that she had what do they call it, a avoidant attachment disorder, right? So basically, whenever she felt pressured, she would run, like just lock off, stop all communication, because too much stimulation was going to be would scare her more.
Make her anxious, make her anxiety would kick in.
And so she would cut it off, and she would go so far as to just throw monkey wrenches into the relationship, so that she didn't have to deal with the stress, what we call eustress, the good stress of dealing with the relationship, right?
Yeah.
So in a few of the relationships I've had, we've actually gone through that phase, powered through it, and then that made us stronger. And then in other relationships I've had, they would just constantly sabotage until it was finally over. They could breathe, they could rest, and then they could sort of blame me for making it so complicated, because they felt like if it was easy, it was right.
Right.
And that's just one way to look at it and whatever. But at the end of the day, that motivation for cheating was just to have a third-party non-excuse to end the relationship, rather than even make up for shit that I was missing as a partner, or try to get my it's meta.
It's the inability to communicate.
Yeah.
It's totally the inability to communicate, and that's the most unfortunate thing. I think a lot of us, speaking for the millennials, not all of them. Let's just assume not all of them, right? 'Cause then people will get offended.
Almost all of them.
Almost all of them. But it's difficult to communicate how you feel because we're so used to being suppressed and stifled and shut down. And no, it's not okay. And no, you're not right. And of course, what you're feeling is incorrect. Even though, who are we to say what you're feeling is or is not true? Perception is reality.
Right.
As much as that sucks, someone's perception of the situation becomes the reality of how they feel. It's the truth of how they feel. And again, we're not responsible for that. But what did we do to get it there? And how can we diffuse the situation if it even can be diffused? That becomes the other person's choice. It's this mutual reciprocity of choice, consistent, always there, revolving this wheel that constantly turns. And when you've got someone that throws a wrench in that, there's no coming back.
Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. But at the end of the day, like we're talking about ideal scenario. Like their defense mechanisms are coming up. All of their past stuff is coming up. And you're supposed to do the right thing all the time, but then your ego gets involved sometimes.
Oh, God.
You get hurt sometimes,
Ego.
and you act out.
Fuck.
You act out in ways that aren't really constructive, and that just compounds things. And yeah, people just
really,
don't.
really wish myself personally that I wasn't as proud as I am. I swear to God, I would not get in as much trouble as I do if I was not so damn proud.
When it comes to like everything, or in arguments a lot, or
Oh gosh, in again in my relationship and my personal and past experiences, I've come to believe that sometimes people get to a place when your relationship is, this might be a little future tense, but when your relationship gets to a point and commitments become stronger and you think your relationship is getting more stable, and it is, but stress elevates to creating a level of discourse or miscommunication that compromise. When you try to compromise or even think about compromising, you feel like instead of compromising in a situation for your relationship, you're compromising who you are. That's my thing. I feel like if I acquiesce, if I submit, if I give myself a reason to apologize, and it's hard for me to apologize, that I feel like I'm losing a bit of myself instead of thinking of the greater good, right? It's ego, it's pride, it's all the things that are so inconsequential because I'm really not compromising who I am.
no.
It's
You're
not
not.
hard to be nice. It's not hard to say, I'm so sorry. Of course, this isn't, this shitty moment isn't going to last forever, because I can choose whether or not I want it to last forever.
And there you go. So that's where the pride makes it harder.
Oh my God, it's so bad.
All right. Well, at least you recognize it.
It's the first step.
That's
It's
step number
not.
one.
And it requires humility, which requires you to set aside your goddamn pride. Sometimes we are too proud, and sometimes we have a right to be, because of where we may have come from and things we may have gone through, and you've come so far. But I have to remember. I can only speak for me in this situation. I have to remember that my present and my future are not predicated on my past.
Right.
The things that I've gone through before with the people I've been with before are not installed in the person I'm with now.
What happens tomorrow has nothing to do,
With what's happened today or yesterday.
and you can't use that as an excuse either.
No, absolutely not. It is a really, really big oversight. It is an egregious oversight. It is an awful thing. And this is for you guys to use as your personal help, your personal satisfaction, to know, like, it's okay to be humble. It's okay to say you're sorry. That's the most you can do sometimes, and then take steps in the right direction to correct the things that you have wronged. That's all you can do. You're not responsible for your partner accepting that apology or being able to understand what that situation is. If they're checked out, they're checked out. You can't correct that, but you can correct you.
Absolutely. And then you can admit and recognize your mistake. Say, look, fucked up. That was me. Okay, let me know if I do that again, because I need to recognize it. So I'm making us better than, or instead of separating us, pushing us away where somebody's going to cheat. Now, speaking of regular, all-American, 100% cheating.
You're like, let's bring it back out of this like mental bullshit.
Forgive me. I feel like
That's
the
all
special
right.
guest
That's
thing
all
is-
right, though. No, you're educating. That's
Yeah.
great. That's great. I want to bring back to your basic cheating and my experiences. Now, I'd say every past relationship that's gone over a year in my life, I've been cheated on sexually. Like I told you 8 million times on the other stuff, but I've been cheated on every time. And maybe part of it is me that allows that or lets it happen, because I am not a very jealous person, and I am willing to let my partner be who she is, and I want to support her in everything she does. I don't want to hold her back. I want to let her grow and be the person she wants to be. That's what I want. I treat a person like I would think I would want to be treated, and would be to let me be me and support me. So I do the same thing. So I'm not very, hard-fisted in trying to, I don't control, and I don't try to put my wishes upon a person to be the person I want, where I want, and I find more satisfaction when I'm with a girl that is growing and becoming who she is. And she may end up growing and cheating on me. Now, after I've said that, I've had all those girls come back after and say, I made a big mistake. But it's too late now. Too late. I gave you the freedom, and you took advantage of it in the wrong way. And so, c'est la vie. Still love you. You're still great. I'll hang with you all you want, but we're not doing this. We're not doing it again. That's just the way I feel. I give you the opportunity, and if you take advantage of it, then bye-bye.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Is this something that you've acquired over time, getting older and more experiences that you've had, or have you always been this way?
I've always been like that.
Lucky you.
I've always been that, but it's always worked out negatively. So, it's not like I'm the wimpy dude. Like, I'm still running the show, making sure she can do whatever she wants, and she can grow, and she can go whatever career she wants, focus on that. But, sometimes, I guess, I don't know, if giving them that much freedom has caused them to wander, or I don't have a dupe.
That's something that I keep coming across too. I think, and I'm kind of developing a theory on this now as my life continues to move forward. And I get a lot of these relationships that kind of end in this way. What you were talking about before in one of the videos, how with a lot of open opportunities, it's very difficult to expect people, especially millennials, to be loyal. You kind of give them enough rope to hang themselves, and then they do.
I think
more often than not. And so I think as men, or as leaders, or as partners who have the more dominant shot calling role in the relationships, maybe we shouldn't be giving that much rope. Maybe we shouldn't give them that much freedom.
That's kind of what I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Am I making a mistake by giving them their life to whatever they want to do? I'll give them direction. I'll tell them what I think, but it's their choice.
In my experience, or in my thought process, it's like everybody's free to do what they want.
Yeah.
Right? That's it. Period. End of story. And to call it anything else is just like la 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 la. Like you're just trying to act like you have sort of control that you don't actually have.
Right.
However, I've seen a lot of relationships where the guy's like super dominant, super domineering,
and control.
Be like, who the fuck were you hanging out with?
Right.
Blah blah blah. Right? And their girlfriends do not cheat on them. Right?
No.
Right?
I've seen
and
that.
So, like, not that I want a fearful relationship, but there's got to be a balance between like this woman who is, by nature reactive, and that maybe 70-something% of the women, I think Josh Pellissier had that stat, where traditionally minded, traditionally feminine gender old women are about 70% of the female population. If those women are looking for direction, looking for leadership, then are we supposed to lead them into like a no whatever zone, or should we give them opportunity, let them think and do whatever their things go, and let them take their action. And I usually fall to the point, it's like, look, you're a full-grown woman, you can do what you want. And then there's plenty of you out there.
Yeah.
So when you make poor decisions, I'm still going to love you as a human.
Right. That's
But I can't trust you as a partner.
Right.
Right?
Right.
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Because I gave you that, and
God,
then
that's so
you
difficult
broke it.
for me.
Right?
Just to not well. That last part, of course, is always difficult for anybody to trust someone as a partner at that point. But even the forgiveness part is difficult for me. So the fact that you guys can do that is awesome. But I feel like if that were to happen, and that has happened to me, it's very difficult to be like to look someone else in the eyes after they've betrayed you to such a degree. Of course, at the same time, I'm still real. So I mean, at the end of the day, let's be real.
Yeah.
Not to say that you guys aren't capable of that level of
Sure.
of emotion or sensitivity, but it's difficult. I feel like for me, being controlling doesn't necessarily work either. Not that I try to control my partner, but I try to be as involved as possible, or try to get her to involve me as much as possible in her plans. Not necessarily to be invited with, but to say, hey babe, I'm going out with such and such. This is what I'm doing. This is when I'll be home. This is where more it's for her safety, because sometimes they'll go out to bars, clubs, like we go to a bar, right? But she'll go to Hollywood from here, which is a little bit of a drive. So I know where she's at, so I can go get her if she requires it. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that.
She needs help you there.
It's to find a balance, as Duke was saying, between supplementing the control versus the caring nature and giving them the freedom to do as they wish is very, very difficult. I am a jealous person, unlike you. I do have a hard time accepting the importance of my role when it feels like my importance is being rolled over by something else, which is equally selfish as much as it is controlling. But it's something I'm aware of, and it's something I'm working through, and I feel I will grow out of it because I used to be worse. But it's again based on the choices that other people make. We can't base our lives and the failure or success of our lives based on the choices our partners make. If people want to be shitty, they'll be shitty, whether you're your friends, your partners, whatever. At work, oh my god, it happens all the time at work.
Oh.
I mean, people cheat on everyone else every day.
Pathetic.
It's ridiculous. But
Right.
yeah, to find that balance is really truly an art. Because I feel like at the end of the day, most people want to be loved, cared about, be number one. You want someone to have your back. You want to be supported.
Well, I feel like I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, but I'm pretty confident that I'm a damn good catch.
God damn it.
True story.
And
I'm jealous.
and with that attitude of supporting a person and letting them be themselves and have fun and have a great time, and like they want to go out and hang out and with other dudes and just like go ahead, have a good time. I gotta work. I can't go with you. I'd love to go with you. Can't. But doesn't mean you have to be locked up at home. Go. Have a great time. Supportive. And I feel like I'm still really, really confident when I'm in a relationship, even though I've been screwed over so many times. I'm still confident. Like if I'm out with my girl and she's getting hit on by other guys, I don't freak out. I think it's funny. I kind of like it. I'm like,
You get to go home with her.
I'm like, oh, look at her getting hit on. Yeah, good luck, buddy. Good luck, buddy.
Yeah, that happened to me the other day. That was awesome.
It doesn't. I don't get weird about it. I don't have to get in a fight and prove how gnarly I am.
No. Well, it's confidence.
Yes.
That's not ego. That's confidence.
It is, but the funny thing is like I really shouldn't be confident.
Why?
Because I've been fucked over every time. But I still am not worried at all, and that's the way I am, and you're still gonna get screwed over. Honestly.
Well, you're very diplomatic. You are very diplomatic. I have no other way of putting that. Like you just. You,
So I should be a politician.
Hell, no, you are too nice to be a politician. God damn it. You
You're
will
gonna
not-
get cheated on a lot as a politician.
Yeah, well, I'm used to that though. See?
It takes a lot of self-confidence and humility and awareness to know, hey, look, these are the things that have happened to me. So you don't walk around with an axe to grind like
Nope.
I do.
Nope.
That's the difference between you and me, and it's
Nope.
not. It doesn't make you a better person. It doesn't make me a worse person. It's just the way that we run through our lives. But I can learn from you, and that makes
Okay.
me happy.
Well, thank you. Okay, good. That's great. Now, let me ask you a question. Ask, being the female of the group,
Oh, boy.
do you think that by me not, by giving them the freedom and letting them do whatever, do they maybe not so much outwardly, but in the back of their mind think that I don't care? And that may be a stepping stool for cheating?
So I think the thing that sucks about asking me that question is because I have the dichotomy of being the dude in the relationship as well as having the
Right.
female experience.
You're all I got, kid.
Yes. I enjoy being claimed. I don't know if men like that. What my bros tell me, they like to be claimed as well. I think women equally like to be claimed by their men, if not more so. Whether it's holding their hand or bringing them a drink, letting them converse, but kind of they know that you're watching them, not like vulture looking at a
right.
carcass, whatever. But
Delicious.
yes.
That's how I watch all my girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether you know them or not. I've seen it, dude.
But no, I don't see that's difficult because
Well, you kind of maybe you struck a chord there with the claiming thing.
but I don't think you don't do that. I think your relationship is a little bit. The unfortunate thing is, in our circumstance, because we don't have a lot of time to hang out, I don't get to hang out with you, and
Right.
I don't get to see you in that dynamic often.
Right.
But when I have experienced that, I feel like you do a great job at claiming your girl, and I think that it's an amazing union. It's a power that thrives through the area, and people can feel that energy, and that's an amazing thing. I like to think that I bring that to the table as well, but my biggest thing is, as long as you're claiming your person in a way that's not stifling or suppressing or taking away their independence.
Right.
Again, in art form, it's like a dance. You got to be really careful with it because you can't go up to her when she's talking to her friends or maybe trying to make new friends and like, this is mine, whatever.
Yeah, right. I would never.
Breathing room, right? It's all about breathing room, but knowing that you're there, it's a safe place,
Right.
right? You're there if
All
if
girls
she
like to
needs
feel
you,
safe.
right? Safe, claimed.
Yeah.
There's a difference between claiming and chaining, barring and holding. There's a difference between all of it, and you have to know what you're doing, how you're doing it, and if you've got a really great person, they will also tell you. They will tell you, hey, look, this is a little too much, but
All
let
right.
me tell you, you've got nothing to worry about.
Okay, got it. So let me tell you this. Now that you mentioned this, you're kind of bringing thoughts up in my mind, and maybe this is why. Because what she's saying is she's talking about me now. She didn't know me past mess ups, bullshit.
We've only known each other for 10 years.
Right, but how many have I had?
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, so in my past ones, where like now, to let her know that like she's mine, I try to go out of my way to be super chivalrous. I do like more than like people do on their date. Like I won't even let her walk when we're walking on the street. I will always be on the outside of the street.
Yep.
Like I have a picture, and on it says, "What's wrong with this picture?" And there's a guy and a chick, and the guy's on the inside, and I've shown every girl I've shown except one, and I've shown maybe 30, maybe more, and these are Southern California girls, so who knows if this is a worldwide thing, but this is the group I've taken.
Small sample size.
And they are all like, I don't see it. And then when I tell them, they're like, what? No, they don't even get it. So maybe that's nothing for here. But anyway, that's just an example of being over chivalrous, where girls here don't even know that if I was doing that, if I kept moving to the outside, they'd be like, "What are you doing?" Where it's just something. When a girl stands up at a table, whether I with her or not, I stand up. Unless they're like this all the time, then I'm like, oh, okay, I can't keep up. So I just let
Squats
it go.
for days.
But I try to be a super gentleman, and especially if my girl stands up, I stand up. She comes back to the table, I stand up. Anything. I don't want to teach you guys how to be a gentleman. I'm sure you can handle that. But anyway, I wouldn't do that as much in my earlier stages. Maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they didn't get it because I didn't. That's kind of my way of claiming, I guess.
I don't think that's necessarily the good and or bad of it. I think that it's an extreme testament to your character that you do that now more than you did then, because that's just who you are. I think being who we are is principle, but. And I guess when I think of claiming, I think more of like being nearby in a close vicinity and people can tell you're together. You don't have to be all over her, but you can be as long as she feels comfortable. You can stand next to her. The way that I claim my girl is if we go to a house party, I let, and more often than not, it's her friends than mine because our work schedules are so conflicting that, whatever. So it's easier for me to go to her friends' parties than it is for her to come to mine.
Of course.
I let her have her thing, her social moment with her friends, but I carry myself. She doesn't have to carry me. That's my way of being chivalrous, because I'm one less thing she has to worry about. But they know we're together because they saw us walk in together. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
I feel like it's more of how independent can you be with your partner while allowing her to be independent as well. You're not sitting in a corner craving her attention.
No, I'm totally all about that.
Right. Like you said, you let them grow, you let them do their thing, whatever, however the ways they grow, that works for them. It's, again, it's a dance. It's a small thing, but it's a really, really big thing. I can't tell her what she can and cannot do. All I can do is observe what she has and has not done, and what she tells me she does or does not do. And I base my choices off of that. Okay, in this situation, you don't want to be claimed. I won't claim you. And that's a way of claiming.
That's right.
It's
you got a dog on a leash. He's your dog. You heel him with you. He's walking beside you, not leading, not trying to lead, just walking with you. You get to the dog park, you let the dog off the leash. Dog still knows it's yours.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
So there we're
It's
not really
compromise.
getting off the subject of cheating. We're trying to establish what is good. Why would somebody do that? Other than their past, which is a lot to do with cheating, I think.
I think what I would do, I want to create an addendum here. What I would do is if I saw my partner at a party and she's talking to whoever, guy or girl, because in my situation it can go either way, and she does one of these, to someone that she's with, I might approach the situation non-combatively, not aggressively. Maybe throw my arm around her, since we're talking about infidelity, right? That's a staple of the situation.
Yeah.
That's a way you can gauge the situation without walking up to her and being like, "Hey, bro, what you doing?" Or, "Hey, girl, what you doing?" You just walk up and you gauge the situation, you figure it out. And it really depends on how invested you are in the relationship. It's going to hurt, but I promise you it'll hurt less if you are non-combative,
Right.
not aggressive, feel out the situation, try and vibe it as non-partisan as possible. It's very, very difficult to be unbiased because we want to believe the worst. Oh my God, she touched this person's arm. This guy, let's say heterosexual relationship, she touched this guy's arm.
She just cheated on me right there.
Right?
That's right.
You do that, you become an asshole. You give yourself a reason to be sorry. You give yourself a reason to stray.
Right.
If I pick up my dog every time I take him to the park and he plays with another dog, he's going to be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm suppressing him. I'm stifling him. He's going to hate me. He will resent me. I mean, maybe not, because we don't deserve dogs, and dogs forgive us every fucking day. But humans will not. Humans will remember.
And they will remember that shit.
And they will take it to the goddamn grave. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's all about your choices. It's all about what you do and what you don't do, how you handle the situations as they come up, and be as nice as you can. Honesty,
I think
communication.
we're talking about how to better your relationships and not make cheating so much in the forefront, or
Don't make them think about it. Don't make them think about it. All you can do is offer what you got. I can offer you everything I've got. All I've got is my heart, and this is what comes with my heart. I will be honest with you. I will tell you what I'd like, what I don't like. We're compatible in all these ways. Let's see if we can make it work. Suddenly you become shitty and you say, no, I can't handle this. You can't do that. Let me take this away from you. Let me give you all these shitty parts of me. And suddenly they're going to start looking for someone better and may not even know about it.
yeah, that's true. That's the thing. Not even know about it.
Not even know about it, and you can't even be mad. But you will be. But you will be.
Dude, what are your thoughts? Go.
Man, I don't even have an opinion. I diverge so much from everything you guys just said. I don't even know.
You got nothing. You got.
Oh, here's the deal, man. Look, one, if you're in a relationship to feel significant, you expose yourself to a lot of things. If you must feel validated or approved by your partner, and that's kind of like a staple of it, and you can't self-approve, you can't self-validate, then you give your partner the, from her past or from her, her current situations or the way she deals with stress or coping, like any of the way that she deals with life, you're not celebrating who she is. She's able to hurt you because you give her that piece of you that you probably should have built on your own.
Celebrate is such a great word.
Secondly, you can't own another person. That's called slavery, right? And you can't claim another person as ownership. Now, there are a lot of people who want to be claimed because it gives them a sense of significance. Being claimed gives them a sense of value that they didn't have before the relationship. And I think it is the way a lot of relationships go, but I think you should be able to feel valuable in your own self-esteem and everything before allowing another partner to give that to you. Because the strength that you allow that to feel good in your life, you can swing completely the other direction if your partner screws up. And we're all human, we screw up a lot. And it doesn't even have to be cheating or whatever. It just, if you give them that level of vulnerability, then you have to expect that level of pain at some point in the relationship. That comes back to my core thought on cheating and jealousy and whatever, is that jealousy comes from insecurity. It comes from the fear that you can lose something in whatever. And I believe that relationships are a living, breathing, day-to-day choice-making exercise. Like we were talking about earlier, and we were talking about whether you choose to get angry or not, right? Every day we can just erode our relationship to nothing, or we can build it up. And some days we do better than others. But to call it anything else, to think that tomorrow's relationship has longevity because of the work that we've put in the past, is lying to ourselves. If I cross my partner's boundaries tomorrow, she might give me 1 or 2 passes, but in a couple of weeks it turns to resentment and it all just goes to shit. It has nothing to do with the 5 years we've spent before doing all this crazy stuff, be happily married, be an awesome man, do da-da-da-da-da for years and years and years and years, and then all of a sudden you do something that crosses her boundary system, even a new boundary she might have set up
that you didn't even know about.
And you weren't keen enough to figure out,
right?
And she didn't want to fucking communicate with it, and then she goes looking for something else, not necessarily because she wants to be a cheater or whatever. She'll justify it in a number of different ways. And so will you. I'm not saying this is a woman problem, by the way.
Absolutely.
This is a guy problem.
No.
Right.
We're just guys.
It's not a gender thing. But at the end of the day, the relationship is a constant build or fall. And if you don't keep building, then it will eventually erode and turn entropy or whatever. So a lot of people don't think this way. A lot of people think, some of my partners, in fact, think that it all should go easy. And because it goes easy, that it was meant to be, right? And I turned out that I don't really get along with those people. There are some people who can mesh with those types of people, and it's like, oh, we just had an easy relationship our entire lives. It wasn't too hectic, and I think it was
There were
meant
some
to
ups
be.
and downs, but you know.
And those people, I'm not saying that that's even a wrong way to think. But if you're my partner, this is the wrong way to think, right? Because I will be working and grinding and putting myself through fire every day to make our relationship the best it could possibly be. Because not necessarily because I'm afraid of it eroding, but because I know at the bottom of my heart that it will if I don't.
So
Right.
here's the caveat with that, though, if I may interject, that it's not necessarily an easy ride. All relationships take work from both parties involved, but at the same time, suffering shouldn't mean that your relationship is successful. Suffering through things should not mean that it's
I
going
got a
somewhere.
whole thing about that.
I mean, forgive me, I'm
Yeah,
sure that's not what
yeah.
you're saying either, but I don't want our viewers to misconstrue that work is indicative of suffering as well. You will
Yeah.
suffer through the work, because who wants to work, you know, a 40-plus hour week and then work on their relationship as well and take all that time for you that you need to grow personally?
Too bad.
Exactly. Too fucking bad.
Yeah.
But suffering through infidelity is different. Suffering through your partner beating you is different. Suffering
Yeah.
through someone being emotionally abusive is different.
Yeah, all that kind
Exactly.
So
of thing.
there's that. Again, forgive me. I'm not saying
No.
that's what you were saying.
But like as Duke was saying about your past, what you've done in the past, last 5 years or however long the relationship, doesn't matter tomorrow. It's a very simple term that I use a lot. It's hero to zero. You can be a hero today. You go to bed tomorrow. If you're not back on the fucking on the firing line, you can easily go to zero in less than a day.
And so
Just-
can she.
Oh yeah.
Right? This isn't like oh yeah, we're so high and mighty, we're very tolerant.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
We're just speaking from the guy's aspect of it.
I will turn it around on a girl so fast if she crosses my boundaries, and I will say this cannot happen anymore. Da 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 da.
Right.
And then all the wonderful things she's done her entire life, I will not bring into the equation if
No.
she hurts me.
No,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
right now is what matters.
Yeah.
What you're feeling right at that moment. Guys or girls, right at that moment, doesn't matter what happened in the past. That's why everybody, male or female, has to stay on point when they're working a relationship. Now, sometimes we have bad days. Sometimes we just can't get it together. We can't do it. Hopefully, we have a partner that can understand that and recognize, all right, I'm going to give you this one day.
Forgiveness.
You know, love you, and you just get that look. I love you, but, you know, this today. This keeps going on. EBay gone.
There's nothing wrong with saying that either. I found in some literature I've read that it's totally okay to tell your partner, hey, look, I totally see the party that you're in. I'm not vibing off that party right now because I'm going through some stuff. Whether you had a rough day at work or you're having a rough day personally,
Right.
I'll join your party later, I promise. Give her that reassurance, or him, right? That reassurance that you will re-enter that atmosphere so they don't think that suddenly you're this ball of negativity that's just avalanching down a hill.
Right.
It's totally okay to say, look, today I'm just not 100%. Don't expect me to be 100% because I'm just not feeling it. I'm not trying to be shitty. This is what I'm doing.
And the great thing is if a person can recognize they're going through some shit and they're not treating their partner the way they deserve to be treated, they can actually say, look, I'm going through some shit right now. Can I just have that? And hopefully the partner will say, I get it, understand. How can I help you? Oh my God. Oh,
Oh, if
jeez.
they say, how can I help you? That's a step beyond.
I mean, I know. That's it. I'm
Then you're in
sorry.
really
I feel
good
ya.
shape.
Do you want me to leave you alone? You know? Can I rub your neck? Blow job? Whatever. You know, that's what you're looking for, honestly, in a relationship. Oh, okay. Let me
Does
help
that
you. Then
happen?
you're just not feeling. Well, you know, I've seen it in
Actually
movies.
does. It actually does.
God damn.
I've seen it in movies. I'm sure it must happen somewhere.
Silver screen memories.
But no, that's key. So all these things are going to help prevent cheating. And again, we're talking about a frickin' cornucopia of items that will represent cheating. Having a dating app on your phone and looking at it would be cheating, would it not?
If you're in a relationship, yeah, if it's against your agreement.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right? Why are you looking at other dudes? Or why are you looking at other chicks? I'd say, I really don't know, honestly, but I would think guys would do that more than chicks.
Now, all of that notwithstanding, I mean, I feel like the gist of what we're talking about
The gist.
is, cheating is a breaking of an agreement, and it usually has to do with sharing yourself with somebody else, right?
Right.
Right? And then preventing cheating is impossible because you can't control another person.
That's
Figure
right.
that out. However, the best way to mitigate that kind of stuff is to be open, honest, and communicative with your partner. Yay! Like we get to
Here we go again with the communication.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's like relationships are real. Relationships are dirty. Relationships are messy. Relationships are not fun sometimes and really, really fun the other times. And that roller coaster is why we continue to get into them, because unpredictability makes it worth doing. If we knew what was going to happen with every partner that we had, relationship wouldn't mean much to us. It would be a commodity. So I say that we had a very good discussion today. We were talking about getting out there, talking about our own personal stuff. We're talking about how significance in relationships, how we should communicate, good examples on how to deal with ownership and claiming and those kind of things, and a bunch of different perspectives.
Yeah, it was good.
You have any end thoughts, Ash?
Don't
Keep
give
it under 30 minutes. Let's go.
Don't give yourself a reason to be sorry. Don't give yourself a reason to be sorry. Because things will get heated, things will get escalated. If you get paranoid, then your emotional response is going to be something that's going to haunt you the rest of your life.
Do you have a tool or something that you do when you begin to feel an urge that they can take with them
I walk away.
that can shut
I
that
walk
down?
away. I walk away from the situation. If I feel like the situation is getting too intense and I'm feeling too insecure, I ask my partner for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, and she usually obliges. But I always promise to come back, whether I leave the space that we're in or I actually vacate the area, taking my car, going for a drive. Look, babe, this is getting too intense. I can't handle this right now. I need to get out of my stress brain mode so I can go back to my cognizant, logical thinking brain where everything is not black and white, that I can see the gray. Let me assess what you've said. Let me think about it, and I can address it without being aggressive, without being mean, without being, that I'm very, very good now, I'd like to believe, of discovering when I've reached my limit. And I can even warn her, hey, look, you've got about 5 more sentences. Either choose your words carefully or I'm going to have to take a break. And like I said, I'm very lucky that I have a partner that's willing to oblige. So, because we understand that our relationship takes work. So, don't give yourself a reason to be sorry. Like I said, it's a tip a really, really good friend of mine once told me, and it's stuck for the last several years. And when I can employ it, it's saved my skin. Not my relationships, but my own skin. And that's the most important thing. When you can walk away from a relationship knowing that you had no reason to be sorry, you can abdicate yourself of blame, and suddenly
We're joining
it's
you.
easier to understand.
Oh.
We're shooting a video. We're live right now.
All right,
We're almost wrapping it up, though.
Closing
Yes.
words, Jerry?
Bottom line is what I've learned from this discussion, and it was a great discussion, by the way, because I learned some shit. I don't really learn some shit a lot. So this is a good one. The bottom line is know when you're the problem and know when you're not. And when you are the problem, admit it and ask your partner how you can be better. And don't commit to it, because if you fuck up, then you cheated. So just say you will do your best and you need help being a better person. Do that, and hopefully your partner will recognize that maybe they will do the same thing. I'm not gonna promise they will, but maybe they will. And that way, you'll be even better you're gonna have great sex afterwards because you come to this point.
Makeup sex is the best.
Yeah.
Makeup sex.
Oh,
is
you
the
know,
best.
get out.
All right, if you like makeup sex, smash that like button.
do that
Make
thing.
sure to subscribe and hit the little bell so you don't miss out on any of our future content. We're here every Wednesday at 8-ish, 9-ish,
Barring technical
Pacific.
difficulties.
Barring technical difficulties.
Barring Duke's inability to get his shit together.
Oh man, if we're waiting on that, we'll never have a show.
We're just gonna keep doing it.
All right. Anyways, have an awesome night tonight, guys, and tune in tomorrow for the next episode of Pickup Daily.
Stay awesome.
Hey, you guys who are watching, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it because we're just a bunch of idiots here talking.
Thank you
So,
for suffering
thanks.
through us.
Yeah, really.
You know, you're doing just fine until you call us idiots. I disagree. Anyway, fucking
And
from
the
all
next
of us,
video.
Just keeping us humble, boys and girls.
stay awesome.
Stay awesome, guys.
Yeah.
We're not live anymore.
Not live anymore. Well, theoretically.